cash out deal, right? So that's one way. All cash is turned over to the seller, and they're out of the deal and they're off the title. Okay, that's an all cash transaction. Even though it comes from a loan, it doesn't matter. They're cashed out. Okay, or in some cases, more so in the private sector, the owner says, "Hey, I would consider some of it down now, maybe 20% down or whatever, and some of the money over time," and that's called a terms deal. So there's either all cash or terms. So we can show you how to wholesale deals for cash or terms. In other words, you're flipping contracts.
Okay.
So instead of having to actually take ownership of a property, right, and have your name on the title and all that good stuff,
Lombardo.
we actually can show you how to just
Teaching
get
here
it
in
under
Orlando.
contract under what's called contractual law. Okay, under contractual law, four things have to come into play. Let's say you have a house. I would like your house, and I offer you $80,000, and you say, okay, well, we just had a meeting of the minds. Well, let's get it in writing. So the second thing under contractual law, it has to be in writing. So we can take a piece of paper or a simple one-page contract, which we have in here, and I'll show you when we get to it. And everything's spelled out. Here's the address. You're the seller. I'm the buyer. So we've identified ourselves. We had a meeting of the minds, and I offered you a little something now, a little bit of consideration. So the consideration is something valuable. Usually it's cash. Maybe it's $10, maybe it's $1,000, but some consideration has to pass under contractual law. And the other thing would be everybody has to acknowledge and date it, so we sign it. So those four elements are the main things under contractual law, and that we just put together a contract. Okay, now what am I going to do with your house? I may not want it. I may decide this is not exactly what fits our portfolio for buy and hold. So I may just decide to offer it up to somebody that wants it a little more. And maybe he offers me $85,000 for that same property. I can just flip that contract to him, and that's wholesaling for cash. So he comes to the table with $85,000, and the title company closes it and gives us a $5,000 check. That's what wholesalers do.
Okay.
That's not bad, right?
Not at all.
And all you're doing is flipping the contract. So you've got it under contract. Again, remember, it's very important. You can't send people out to a specific address if you're not licensed. Okay? If you were licensed, no big deal. But when you're not licensed, the Florida Real Estate Commission will come down on you real hard and say, you're practicing real estate without a license. But if you get it under contract, under contractual law, very important term, you have the right to do what you want with that contract. Sometimes we just say, okay, let's fix it up ourselves and let's flip it for a nice chunky check, as I call it. So that's flipping. That's the stuff you see on television. Flip this, flip that. Yeah. Most of them are just telling you to flip open your wallet, we'll take all your money. But they're educational things that, and okay, I don't want to beat up on them too much, but the point is, there's some good content there. It's entertaining, the Property Brothers and all those guys that are on television. I've worked for some of those, just so you know. And so, Angel and I have decided, look, we want to take it to the people with a real hands-on approach. Let's really do deals with people. Let's actually go out there. We don't have to be on television to do that. We can go out and in their
Just on video camera.
In their market, yeah, just on video once in a while, so we can teach. It's a training tool. Okay, so we're going to use this as a training tool, and we can go out and teach others like yourself that we can make a little extra money and maybe have a little better version of ourselves and have a little more time, to do things we enjoy just by making a little extra money wholesaling properties. So wholesaling is one pillar for cash or terms. In other words, flipping contracts. Fix and flip properties for nice chunky checks. We do the same thing those people do on television. And so let's say I decide to take that house at $80,000 and add some value to it, fix up the bathrooms, the kitchen, and the yard, whatever, so you have curb appeal. And now we put it back on the market for $110. That's not bad, right? Maybe we put $10,000 in it, we're into it for $90, we make $20,000. So that's a nice chunky check, right?